Puritans attend. Inspired, the poet sings the fall of empires and the fate of kings. Empires by too much policy overthrown, and kings thrown from kingdoms, not their own. He sings no fables, but domestic jars, heroic dudgeons, and theatric wars.
Britons attend, inspire the poet sings the fall of empires, the fate of kings, empires by too much policy overthrown, and kings thrown from kingdoms not their own. He sings no fables but domestic jars, heroic dungeons and theatric wars, wars without armies, battles without bloodshed, for season is born and scripts that are well read. Our waterproof fame's a novelty pursue, and most this thing pleases because it is new. Long to your sides, the stage is partial shown, some fools of all professions, but this is our own. Long have we laughed at follies of the age, laughing your turn at heroes of the stage.
Good morrow, Mrs. Prompter. What? Are we not to have the grand rehearsal this morning?
Ah, grand indeed, for Mr. Crambo, the author, has persuaded the managers to order the actors to be in their proper habits.
I am bubbled! But I believe we shall not rehearse this morning, for all of our princes, kings, emperors, and ministers of state are so busy in forming plots of their own behind the scenes that they regard not the poetical ones upon the stage. And I have been bamboozled! Oh!
I have indeed heard of some revolutions talked of in our theatrical realm, but if our modern Machiavels lay no better plots than our modern poets, then
Like Mr. Crambo.
I'm bamboozled too! Huh.
Can they want policy? Who are continually learning by the most refined cunning of the drama. But our very cunning rogues in the drama, you know, Mrs. Prompter, are generally not so happy in the catastrophe. Well, I care not. I act only the part of a little courtier. Look on and see the whole game, and then join in with the winning side.
Small courtiers like small gamesters, see how different sides with rage contend. But what right or wrong may be, nor censure nor commend. Silent they show but little care, who's out of play or in. But when the game is up, they sneer and close with them that win.
though you, Mrs. Prompter, by virtue of your office, conceal yourself behind the scene, Yet you were assistant to them on the stage. Therefore, I doubt not but you are acquainted with their design. Prithee, what is it?
Why, the design of all your great heroes and potentates, with that of your Scyllas and your Mariuses, your Caesars and your Catos.
Oh, perfidious wretch!
Why, the design of all your great heroes and potentates. Liberty and interest, Tom.
Faith, and a very good one that is. We see the principle of all of your real great men on the grand theater of the world. Why not, then, of our little great men on this mimic stage of life?
Well, you seem willing enough to join with them. Have the grand rulers of this little empire, then, given you reason enough to revolt?
Reason, my dear. Reason? All your great men and wise politicians seem to think interest is reason enough to change their principles at any time.
Huh. Faith, sir, your observation is very true. Learned lawyers we find will vary their mind, just as they take fee or change client, and patriots warn as interest may store by good and reasons proclaimed of the life the sage and prop of the age, but actions for interest lead say, who then would repeat those maxims to choose where law and policy lead say. Learned lawyers we find will vary their mind, just as they take fee or change client, and patriots warn as interest may storm by golden reasons grow pliant of the life the sage and prop of the age, by their actions for interest plead serve. Who then would refuse those maxims to choose where law and policy lead serve?
Now, here is a lady who loves to have reason on her side, and who would lay as pretty a color over her actions as her face. How bad soever, either might be under the mask.
Madam Squeamish is always complaining of being used ill. She is in a pet about something now.
Oh, what a life is this! Well, as I hope to breathe, a player is no more than a pamphlet hawker, the mechanic retailer of poetical dullness. Lord, Mrs. Prompter, were there ever such managers, such a part, and such a poet? No. I will not play this. That is pause.
Pray, madam, what fault could you find with it?
Fault? Lord, it is all over with faults. Such enormity, such language, and such, I do not know what, but I will positively not play this.
What will you do then, madam? There is no one perfect for the part but yourself.
Do. What would you have me do, sir? Have someone else read it to be sure. For the part is so naughty, filthy a part.
There is no bawdry in it, I suppose, madam.
Lord, how you talk. Mrs. What do you call her? No. One should not appear in it much more than one should be.
Well, I have known you, madam, play a part not much different as to its real character. What else is your Cleopatra, Roxanne, or Jane Shore?
Aye, but those are characters in high life. And one would appear in character in high life, as one would not care to do
in low.
Just so it is in the world. People seem to think the greatness of their character will conceal their private blemishes.
People who are great have not their blemishes appear so odious. In short, Mrs. Proctor, I love a high life character so well that I will positively not play this.
Well, madam, the author and the managers are in the green room. We must acquaint them with your resolution, then.
Pray do.
Squeamish, my dear, good morrow. Madam Hattie, I am yours. Miss Love of your servant.
Lord Hattie, I am in such a state of flurry that I can scarce recover myself.
What's the matter, child?
Never was a part of mine so exquisitely dull.
You join, I see, in the general complaint, for mine is so exquisitely low.
And my character so ill-dressed, I should be ashamed to appear in it.
Women of the stage,
Women of this age,
where are the walls for the women? For every Cleopatra or Lady Macbeth, we see 100 maids who are dumb and bereft. Where are the roles for the women?
Once I played an Amazonian queen, but she was killed off in the second scene. Where are the rules for us women?
The actress who in noble state appears shall be well remembered through all her years. Where are the roles for the women? Such language, such enormities, none should play in such roles as these. Where are the roles? We want higher roles. We'd like noble roles for us women.
Well, I should pity the poor wretch of an author were he not so confident a creature.
That's no wonder. Confidence is an inherent quality in a poet. It is much born with him as his itch of scribbling.
But this was so self-opinionated a thing that though Mr. Pistol would have altered his plan and his plot, he would not have had a line altered.
And as it now stands, Mr. Pistol says the play will be certainly damned. Therefore, I assure the poet I'll not be hissed off the stage for his obstinacy.
Oof, nor I neither. Oh, well, here he comes with the managers.
In faith, we have nothing to fear. Gentlemen, the parts are excellently cast and properly dressed. And now, ye critical rogues of the pit, I defy ye. Are ye ready, ladies?
Lord, sir, you have given me such a part.
A deal of spirit and vivacity in it. I knew it would please you, madame, for egad, I wrote it on purpose for you.
Wrote it for me, sir. Lord, I have never played such a character since the days of my breath. I only play but in high life. Therefore, I will positively not play this.
What do you mean, madam?
not play it. You must play it.
By our articles, we can make you play it.
Insupportable. Make me, sirs. Oh, I am ill, and indisposed, and, well, I hope you'll answer.
Very pretty airs, but which she will be indulged in because she thinks she is of some consequence, as she's been lately indulged by the town.
Are you ready, Madam Haughty? Your part has an infinite deal of humor, all the quintessence of the French, joined to the smartness of the English ballad.
Humor and ballad. Dull things to please the gaping, ignorant mob. Give me an accent strong, the sounding verse to move the passions or to fire the heart. Oh, gods, why gave ye me a tragic soul if I'm debased to vile, plebeian farce? Why gave ye me desires to imitate the fierce Roxana or Statira's rage if all that rage must dwindle to a song? Rage and torture. Now mourn ye, tragic muse, since tragedy's expelled. Now revenge alone shall sate my fury to rags blank verse. I'll tear like actresses of Drury, like them, when most enraged with softening wine, break. Quivering, I break the feet in every line. Then, when love's soft passions touch the heart, I'll rant and roar, sound not sense impart. No more with just accent grace my tale, but nonsense, noise, and spangles shall prevail.
Oh, good heroic madam. You would do well to save some of that rant and some of those tears for our next new tragedy.
Shall I, who bore the trappings of a queen and all the pomp of state? Shall I, who by heroes been adored, for whom an Antony or Hannibal have died, be now debased to plebeian farce? No! Sirs, I cannot. I would not play it.
It is but a tragedy, Rand. It will be over presently.
You have no objection, I hope, Miss Lovemode.
I hope, sir, I am not to appear in these clothes. They have been out of fashion this week, and I would no more appear on the stage in old-fashioned gown than I would off it.
Pray, miss, reconcile yourself to your dress, for you'll have no other.
Then I cannot play. Mr. Pistol said I should have others, and as you'll not consent, I'll tell Mr. Pistol this moment.
This is Pistol's work, who has spirited them up into a contumacy.
Egad, gentlemen! I don't know whose work this is, but this I know, that I have made a very fine work on it. Here have I been these 8 months reading over all the critics of the stage, from Aristotle to Dennis.
Dennis?
Translating, transcribing, transversing, Transposing?
Transposing.
Plotting. Counter-plotting. And when I had finished my piece, which would have been a tragedy of tragedies, and an opera of operas, and a comedy of comedies, all in one.
All in one.
For the increase here of your heroic and high life, ladies, my play will be lost.
No, no! We will not play it! By Stygian Pluto's fiery flood of phlegethid, we will not play it!
Oh, there is pistol in heroics. We shall now have disturbance enough.
And dwell such daring souls in little men?
Have a care, Mr. Crambo, for he is very choleric, and here he is just upon you.
The actors, sirs, will not play this piece.
Nay. Then the town will lose one of the most entertaining, most novel pieces that was ever brought on this stage.
The most novel. Pistol swears by these hilts the most absurd. Why dost thou shake thy grisly locks at me? Thou canst not say 'tis false. For by Cocytus or Lethean pool, by the black streams of the Acherontic flood and Styx's lake, I will affirm it truth.
Oh, peace, noble pistol, why not to a passion?
Bid not the welkin rover. Bid pampered jades of Asia turn bold, trusty Trojan Greeks. Bid Roman cannibal that fell King Cerberus and Queen Alecto to forget their rage. Bid call Orestes and Othello's ire. As well do these, as bid me not affirm 'tis dull, unmeaning nonsense, and we will not play it.
Nonsense! Nonsense, my dear! Let me perish, if for time, place, action on and all, it is not one of the most perfect pieces that ever appeared.
Sir, it is false. False as your far-fetched similes. Can he who treads the stage be ignorant of its laws? Shall dunghill bards confront with helicons? I myself have written, and full well I know, to tragedize a scene, epitomize a song. No, sir. Your solecisms are too frequent, your prolepses too bold, your metaphors too rapt, and your catastrophe...
Say anything against my catastrophe if you can.
Unjust, repugnant to theatric laws. Ah.
My catastrophe unjust.
Aye.
Nay, then, base recreant, thou liest.
A lie? Pistol, a lie?
Right then, Mr. Crambo, retire to the coffee house a little, or we shall have tragedy here indeed.
Whose catastrophe may be a little more unhappy than mine in the play. Therefore, I shall retire. Managers.
A lie. Pistol, a lie. Nay, when I bear that, bear such affront against my
be my head laid in fury's loathsome lap, be all my glory turned to indign uses. My sword, brighter than which ne'er rode upon a thigh, turned into knives for base plebeian cooks and housewives, make a skillet of my hell.
Oh, come, come, pistol. Lay aside thy buskin, and a word or two and down my humble prose. This theatrical empire is ours. Therefore you and the rest of your brother heroes must submit to the laws which we, in our wisdom, shall think proper to ordain. We prohibit, therefore, all your Caesars and Cleopatras to be in heroics at any time besides rehearsal or before an audience.
Oh, my Tisiphon, Megara, and Alecto, the night's black saunters, grim-faced, fury
Oh,
sad.
swear not, good pistol, swear not. For it is to extend to all gods, demigods, and goddesses, all demons, devils, and infernal queens, under whatever name dignified or distinguished. And whoever shall incur our future displeasure, whether hero or godhead, shall be immediately expelled these territories. Farewell.
Bah! Expelled. Ah! Oh, rouse up, revenge. Rouse up from Avondenne, for pistol's powers lost. What? Would ye reign alone? What base traitor shall I my share of empire then forgo from yon bright cloud to the dark realms below, when I, with equal art and power, can bring devils to dance and goddesses to sing? We know of humankind, the more deceits and tricks you'll find in every land, as well as Wales. For who see no roguery thrive upon the mountains, you must live for rogues abound. In all the veins, the master and the man will nick, the mistress and the maid will trick, for rich and poor are rogue and poor. There's not one honest man in a score, nor woman true in 24.
Excellently sung, Faith, and with a good emphasis, my hero.
Comic, I greet thee well.
What's news from the enemy?
Oh, by all the immortal gods.
Hey, pity pistol! Business. Speak for once downright common sense.
Everything succeeds to our wish. Our brother flayers are all ready for a revolt. We only want Miss Prudely Crutchet and Hero Truncheon.
Truncheon?
Aye.
Pox on him! Does he stand out still? I suppose he has been so long an imaginary man of honor that he thinks he must be so now in reality.
Oh, true, he does give the old plea, that of conscience.
But we must overrule that plea. It is as irregular in his court of judicature as those of Westminster. A conscientious player will no more thrive than a conscientious lawyer. 'Tis against the policy of both. The one must forego his interest, the other his fees.
But how are we to gain him, Comet?
By a bait. Scarce any of your conscientious rogues can resist.
Yes?
A woman pistol!
A woman?
There is an intrigue between him and Hottie, and she may bring him over.
But surely that's too weak an artifice for us to succeed
Not
with.
at all! Your wise politicians always make use of a woman to carry out their designs. Nor do any schemes succeed better than those which are mixed with love.
Supposing this should take with truncheon, how are we to gain Miss Crotchet?
To gain a woman, you must foil her at her own weapon. And love, which she uses to draw in the men, may be as successfully used against herself. We might be sure of her pistol. Was you versed in intrigues?
What? Not versed in intrigues? Do you think I can have any title to wit, vivacity, and all that without being conversant in amours? We men of wit and vivacity are always men of intrigue. One is the natural consequence of the other.
If you have such accomplishments, we need not fear Miss Crotchet.
Why, egad, to confess ingenuously, there is a small love affair between us already. I know.
Do you improve that? And she'll certainly join our interest. Oh, and here she comes, happily for your design. I'll be gone to engage Madame Hottie to secure truncheon.
Oh, my dear little rogue. Where does thou fliest, like a lovesick girl who's outstayed her appointment?
Anywhere. From the confused, miscellaneous noise of the green room where stern Cato is pouring out oaths, and Roxana scraps of tragedy, where contending gods are turned bullies and rival goddesses into scolds, where Caesar is disputing with Captain McKeith, and Cleopatra with Jenny Diver.
You wisely leave the great and ambitious to contend for empire, and fliest like a Cleopatra to her lovesick Antony. Oh, by all the flames of love.
Flames of love! Lord, Mr. Pistol. I wonder what's come to you of late. You do so talk of flames, fires, darts, cupids, and such. Nonsense. That really you do grow intolerable.
Oh, by all your heavenly charms.
Aye. Run through them all. Charms, eyes, stars, beauty, heaven, goddess, angel. Pray, let me have no more of your commonplace compliments, which you occasionally use to every wench you address. You frantic lovers like frantic poets form deities, which you destroy again at pleasure.
The amorous spark talks of flames, darts, and fires, swears the nymph is divine, till with love she expires. But should she believe to the flattery blind, Too late when deceived that she's mortal will find.
So firm is the swing, his devotion is paid to the power of the gods his passion has made. But the worship will cease when the pleasure is over. Then woman she proves, though an angel before.
The amorous spark tops of flame stalks and fires, swears the nymph is divine, till with love she expires. But how should she believe to the flattery blind? Too late when deceived that she's immortal will find.
Pray, Mr. Pistol, mention the subject of love no more to me, for I have an aversion to your sex. Though I think the creature more agreeable every time he addresses me.
An aversion to our sex? Nay, then you are a downright prude, and that is the most inconsistent character in life, child.
You use such strange reasons, and if so, enchanting a way with you, that it is dangerous to trust myself with you any longer. Adieu.
Nay, miss, you shall not go.
Oh, but positively I will. Oh.
Let the stricken deer go weep. The heart ungalled, go play.
No, 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 no! No heroics then! After her! She flies only to be pursued!
By that imp of love, Cupid's knight and Venus's dainty lip.
Away, away! Here come Madam Haughty and Truncheon, away!
Enough! Enough! My Amazonian, my female patriot who wildly talks of liberty and freedom.
Wildly I talk because I'm a woman, but though a woman, I'm inspired with liberty, and in her cause have boldly placed my standard, under which banner, sir, I hope you'll list.
I have told you, madam, I cannot join your party, for I think it is against mine honor.
My lot is cast. I've passed the Rubicon. If therefore you'll not join us with your aid, I shall no more esteem your love sincere, but bid you long farewell, farewell,
Forever! Hold! Hold, fair destruction, for love combats with me and melts each brave resolve to tenderness.
He who is by female beauty won, ne'er can resist the sweet siren's charm.
Ah, why should he wish those charms to shine? Can there in beauty our love be harmed?
Racked as thought on thought succeeds, here love of fame and honor bleeds.
But here love mixed with interest charms, below than alone where love alarms. But I would love you all the days.
Every night would kiss and play.
If with me you'd find
say then, where meet the chiefs?
At Pistol's house, at this time they're in consultation.
Lead on. But this froward thing called honor, like wayward ghost, still rises to my view. O sacred honor, who art bore aloft by brazen trump of iron, winged fame, shall I leave thee for love? O contest time.
Let not honor's title move, but yield. I yield to kinder love.
'Tis barren at the bleaky top where the mad rogues themselves sit. But unless I'm mightily deceived, there's a golden harvest under the shade of it. These poets write to please the muses, but to us their verses are sold. We find in poetry other uses to bring in a harvest of gold.
Parnassus' barren peak, the wintry waste is cold. But a warmer clime we seek, a playhouse where all seeds are sold. We find in poetry other uses to bring in a harvest of gold. Let us consider then of the poetical productions, which are to bring this golden harvest. What have you there?
2 comic tragedies, 4 tragic comedies, and 6 old comedies farcified with songs. What shall we pitch on?
Zoons! I should be for a fighting tragedy. The damned cowardly rogues of poets have no notion of entertaining an audience politely. I'll have a tragedy row with a battle in every act. I'll show the town some sport.
Egad, and I shall write genteel comedy. Since we shall scarce have any of Phoebus's sons write to please us, we'll write to please ourselves.
And the town.
Shall be pleased. That's resolved. Let us now resume consideration of the actors. These kings of the stage are but our vassals, and we must look upon them in no other light than as they are useful to us.
But what if instead of using force of power, we had recourse to policy and pursued the same maxims with good breeding?
That would not serve our purpose. Therefore, let us lower their stipends and make them humble by making them poor.
They are ready to rebel. One step more would make them all patriots. Liberty and property would be the word, and all the unthinking fools would join with them.
You're too easy. Can we profit by humoring their caprices? That's the point. Consider that.
Can you carry that point by your maxims?
I want to. Let us now keep to the office and inspect the book of accounts, and you shall see the necessity of reducing our expenses.
I'll wait on you.
Outside Mr. Pistol's house.
inspire.
To arms, to arms,
Our hearts that interest fire.
to arms, to arms,
Let's see what scenes invite.
to arms, to arms.
Our crowns and realms ignite. Sound the alarm.
Sound the alarm!
How glorious the toil!
To arms, to arms,
For fame and for the spoil!
to arms, to arms,
To arms and fear the spies!
to arms, to arms.
For freedom and the prize!
Sound the alarm.
Sound the alarm!
To arms, to arms. No time for scrutiny. To arms, to arms. It's time for mutiny.
When actors stand and join,
To arms, to arms.
we'll get ourselves more coin.
To arms, to arms.
How glorious the toil!
To arms, to arms.
For fame and for the spoil!
Sound the alarm.
Sound the alarm!
Let liberty inspire.
To arms, to arms.
Our hearts will never tire.
To arms, to arms.
Let's all stand hand in hand.
To arms, to arms.
United woman and man.
Sound the alarm.
Sound the alarm!
To arms, to arms. No time for scrutiny. To arms, to arms. It's time for mutiny. To arms.
Brethren and fellow patriots, here we are met like daring sons of Britain, free-born spirits, to shake off the chains of tyranny! Is it resolved that each in his degree shall share an empire? Well, how say ye all?
Resolved!
Whoever has aught to claim, now let him speak. Speak as he list! For I've no private views.
Resolved!
No greedy lust of gain, or damned ambition inspired by liberty or thirst of fame.
I shall be not, but empress or a queen.
And I will have a liberty to supervise my part before I determine whether I'll play it or not.
You know what will oblige me, Mr. Pistol, to choose my own colors and my own mantua maker.
And I will have the liberty to be heard or be hoarse, whenever I think proper.
And humble Jack Comic only desires what you call the tip-top parts in comedy.
It now only remains to force their territories.
Can we by law do that?
Justice and law depend upon success. Truncheon and I
The strong chosen band
will seize upon their realms.
and laws of arms entitle us to plunder.
I shall see thee great as thy ambition prompts thee.
Rebellion must ensue.
Rebellion!
Rebellion! To arms, to arms. No time for scrutiny. To arms, to arms. It's time for mutiny.
Oh, thou glorious thought! Mutiny!
Mutiny!
My spirits rouse even to mighty daring.
Pursue thy hero, thy noble purpose.
Pursue!
Pursue it now, lest thy mind should change.
Never, shall never change.
Oh, 'twere such a godlike act, as players yet unborn shall bless thee for it.
Nor longer than delay.
Revenge spurs on to meet that joyful day.
Joyful day!
Yeah. Rebellion! Mutiny! How we great men delude the unthinking many!
And by the same arts as other great men, an easy smile and a fair promise have drawn many a one into schemes not much for their interest.
There is not one of them but thinks to have prodigious power in our commonwealth. But in our common weal, as in all others, only a few shall share the power. You and I, Truncheon. And perhaps another. Now, you know our articles. You are to be general. And I am to be general over you.
Over me? No, sir, I am to be governor-in-chief.
Under pistol. No other way, I assure you.
What? Have you played me foul? Draw then and do me right.
The devil take me if I do.
Villains!
Are we to fall out for toys?
Cowards!
Nay. Now you've touched upon my honor, and I will draw. I could have bore any reflection but that upon my honor. The man who in point of his honor is nice, Lily Bulero Bulinala. You sacred like God, they have accused him of vice. Lily Bulero Bulinala. Lero, lero, Lily Bulero, Lily Bulero Bulinala. Lero, lero, Lily Bulero, Lily Bulero Bulinala.
He'll laugh at the joke and the charge he'll deny. Lily Bulero Bulinala. The name of the road for his honor he'll die. Lily Bulero Bulinala.
Lero, lero, Lily Bulero, Lily Bulero Bulinala. Lero, lero, Lily Bulero, Lily Bulero Bulinala. Truncheon, damn you!
Pistol, we are both in the wrong. We should forget a private quarrel in a public cause that will divide the government equally.
I thought you were opposed to a cartel.
Aye, unless it is my own.
Agreed. Now, let us seize upon the theater, and, with conquest, crowned arrogantly great, like Caesars, we'll rule the theater world in state! Yeah!
Here, wardrobe keeper, and bring the book of accounts with you. Now, brother, you shall see how large our expenses are.
Read the articles. In Primus, a cloud and a half with the 3 odd waves.
What necessity could there be for them?
Oh, dear sirs! Clouds are the most useful things ye can have. For they must always appear to an audience. Though the scene lay in a bedchamber, and with the addition of the 3 odd waves, we had not waves enough to make a scene.
Oh, you see the expenses, brother? Do you see the expenses?
Go to the article of dresses. A new plume of the
largest size and a pair of buskins higher than ordinary.
Who's that for?
Mr. Pistol. We were obliged to give him a little assistance, for by the stated rules of the theater, a hero must be at least 5 foot 3/4.
Well, I can see no reason why we should be at a particular expense to make Mr. Pistol a hero.
Then be it resolved that Mr. Pistol be degraded.
Well, you might have spared that resolution, for he, with the best part of the company, have left the house, and I have heard are now in combination.
Combination?
Oh! No! Treason, my liege! There's treason at our gates! Treason? Pistol and truncheon, in base league combined, joined by a rabble-rout, demand admittance.
This comes from your policy, but we'll show him sport. Call down our powers.
Guard well the entrance!
Guard well the entrance.
Barricade the doors!
Barricade the doors!
Let loose the dogs of war.
Let's loose the dogs of war!
Thunder aloft! So Jove, besieged by the rebel train, thunder roared! Thunder roared. And all was still again.
And the little bird said, "It's been a long flight."
Lord, you seem melancholy, mister. You must pardon my concern, which arises from my hope and fear for Mr. Pistol's success.
Come, madam. Have no fear about your lover, nor you ladies about the enterprise. I warrant Mr. Pistol succeeds! Hear, hear. But should he not?
Then for itinerant company, you travel as strollers. You know that's our resolution.
Hear, hear. I cannot help having some concern about it.
Oh, come, madam. Drink and banish care.
Who mentions that word care? Unlike gods and demigods, we are quaffing ambrosia!
Ambrosia! Well, now we shall know the issue of affairs. For here comes Pistol and Truncheon.
Base, recreant, cowards!
By Mars, his bloody sword and Bellona shield, by Gorgon's head and fearful frowning nemesis, cowards! Base cowards all!
What? Have you not succeeded, Mr. Truncheon?
Oh, we marched our troops, but found the enemy had firmly barricaded up the gates, nor could we, sirs, by all our arts, provoke the dastard spirits to the fight.
What men could do, we did. We ranged our forces, formed every phalanx and harangued the mob. We saw, we went, we bullied, and now we've returned. Oh, heroes and heroines, what's to be done?
Only what is done, and all bodies politic in a general ruin. Retreat! Oh, every member bears his loss and shits for himself.
In our loss we stay too long.
Let's haste. And patience grows strong.
Wilt thou leave me too?
I cannot see how it could be for my interest to stay.
Shall sordid self-interest outbalance love?
Why not? Why, in love, should women not act on the same principles as men? Why should actresses not behave as lead actors and be equally headstrong?
I need a chair. I need a chair.
Farewell to the plumed crest and the big buskin that constitute the hero. Farewell. And farewell to the heroine, too.
Farewell the shrill cracked trumpets and clashing swords, the gilded truncheon and slackened drum.
Farewell to the beauty of silken dresses and the fashion of my wig's lovely tresses.
Farewell, Roxana. Farewell to Cleopatra in the guise of a queen. Farewell to the High Life and the imperial seat.
Oh, why, thank you.
Oh, farewell.
Farewell. If only you had been as great a comic as I. Oh, would you get out of here? Farewell.
Farewell, rough, tumbling verses and theatric rage that kept us so gloriously employed on stage.
Wait. My army in retreat. My retinue of actors leaves me alone in defeat. How wretched is my fate in love and empire, dethroned from empire, and despised in love. Oh, fate disastrous. Alas, poor Pistol, we knew him well. Now forever, farewell. Farewell for Pistol's occupations gone. Yeah.
We have conquered indeed. The actress has fled. But what have we gained? An empire without subjects. I never much liked this poetical region. For one succeeds in it, frontier ruined.
What, brother, can we do? We We have no incomes, only debts.
Faith, I know no other way than to dispose of our furniture and clothes and then let the house.
How far will that reimburse us?
Oh, considerably to be sure. Sums and clothes are valued at about £1,000. And here, wardrobe keeper Mrs. Prompter.
Mrs. Wardrobe Keeper, please read the catalog of our stock.
Yes, sir. A tragedy drum used in all the wars of Caesar, Hannibal, Antony, Alexander the Great, and John of Gaunt. It has a large flaw in the bottom. Things will be the worse for wear, sir.
Read on this, without your annotations.
A flying horse never mounted by any but Perseus. Wants only one wing. A little tent bed never lain in but by Desdemona and Nell Jobson. A barrel of the best lightning, and Apollo's cracked harp and withered crown of bays.
Let that lay be aside for Mr. Pistol, for he may claim it perhaps by hereditary right.
Harry VIII scepter and Dr. Fustus's conjuring rod, and other signs of royalty.
Oh, enough! I can bear no longer. Wardrobe Keeper, do you dispose of these things to your best advantage? And Mrs. Prompter, do you fix bills upon every door and advertise it in the papers that the playhouse is to be let?
But to whom may we let it?
To anybody, for it is a damned barren soil in which nothing can thrive but what's of its own growth. Oh, what the devil had I to do with playhouses?
There's work enough left for us. I'll go and see if I can dispose of my trinkums.
And I of my playhouse.
Mrs. Prompter, where are the managers?
They're just gone, sir. Fled their creditors, who I'd like to call them bankrupt.
Bankrupt. And the actors, too?
Gone, but not bankrupt, for they were never paid.
Then there can be no rehearsal for my new play. This day is likely to end most unhappily. We've had the catastrophe! Huh? But what comes here?
We've come only to divest ourselves of our imperial robes and stage pageantry, which are the property of the managers.
Yeah, but the manager soon will be gone to prison! And this place, with all its accoutrements, is now a theater to be let.
They mortgaged so much their money's all spent.
They've left a stage we now can occupy?
All hours? All hours! A truncheon!
We'll all be governors in a new commonwealth.
We'll, share profits and find roles for everyone.
Let each actor look out for the author.
Well, I don't know.
Let all animosities cease.
Now that all animosities have ceased, if you cannot perform my new play, I ask that you oblige me by singing a new song I have written about your profession.
Poor Mr. Crambo. Our author has such an over-fondness for his own works. He often reads his plays and sings songs to himself because no one else will.
One last song. Dear Mr. Pistol, to conclude in harmony.
Sir Cranbo, we will willingly obey.